The international community often believes that it's possible to achieve a relatively quick solution to high-intensity conflict. So when rebellion begins in eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and there's large-scale fighting, or there's rebellion in Darfur, the international community rushes in and attempts to solve the problem quickly. And the assumption there is that violence is the worst-case scenario. And this is because of the enormous destructiveness of violence in terms of human life and community and infrastructure, etc. But that is an analytical and therefore a strategic misunderstanding of the nature of violence. Violence is not the problem. Analytically, violence is a manifestation of a problem. It is not the crisis, it is a symptom of a crisis. The crisis precedes the violence, and it may continue after violence is ended. The violence may be an expression of resistance to oppression. It may be a call for attention and for help. But whatever the specific motivation for the violence, we need to understand it as symptomatic of a problem, and we have to address the problem if we want the violence to end. To address the underlying problems cannot be done conceivably quickly, and this is why intractable conflicts get that label, intractable, meaning they are not easy to solve. They go on and on and on. The Darfur rebellion has been underway since 2003, and we are no closer today, in 2009, than we were then to solving it. There are many reasons for this. The one has to do with underlying structural causes: oppression, marginalization, economic exploitation, inequality, none of which can be solved quickly. A second key dynamic that makes this kind of conflict hard to solve are what we can call the psychopolitical dynamics of conflict. Conflict makes us angry, and we're killing each other, and we hate each other, and we loathe each other. And the possibility of resolving this thing, this conflict with my enemy, through negotiations seems inconceivable. To Israelis and to Palestinians, many, if not the majority, it's inconceivable after years and years of killing that they can coexist in two separate states. It's unimaginable. I'm a South African. We believed it was unimaginable in the 1980s that we could have a successful ending of apartheid and the introduction of democracy through negotiations with the enemy. It was inconceivable. And so if mediators and other third-party actors in the international community want to help parties solve conflict, resolve conflict, end rebellion and stop violence, they have to help the parties attend to the underlying problems and to these dynamics of hatred and fear and suspicion. I therefore think that one of the primary functions of a mediator is to help build confidence between the parties, to build their confidence in each other, to build their confidence in negotiations as a means of solving a problem, and to build their confidence in the mediator. And if the mediator can do that, then there is the strong possibility that the parties can negotiate a settlement to their satisfaction. It is not the job of the mediator to write the agreement, because then the parties don't own it. And if the parties don't own the agreement, they won't implement it. The parties have to own the agreement, and they have to negotiate the agreement to their satisfaction. They will necessarily have to make compromises, and they have to find those compromises relatively or sufficiently acceptable in the light of the gains that they've made through the negotiations.